Hey, what's up, guys? It's Online Money 24/7, and today we're going to be talking about how to start investing in the stock market. So, you guys want to get started in this, you have no idea what you want to do, but you want to start investing. You want to invest your money, you want to earn money from the money that you have, and most importantly, you want to make some more money. So, earn money from the money that you already have by investing into the stock market. And as you can see on the right with the picture, you're basically investing in seeds to grow your plants, grow your money tree, more or less, if you want to think about it that way. It's a good comparison. And that you could do that. And so today we're going to be talking about how to exactly get started with investing in the stock market. It's actually pretty easy, believe it or not. So some examples of the kind of gains that you could obtain from doing this, the stock market investing strategy. So here I have a very realistic, kind of realistic scenario, I guess you could say. This is just set up through a compound interest calculator, just kind of showing you one of the examples of many, of infinite examples that you could do with stock market investing. So let's say you have $100, right? On the left, you have $100. You spend 40 years waiting for that $100, 20% interest every single year. You never touch the $100, right? Never, ever, ever touch it. And as you can see on the right, that turns into $146,000. $100 turns into $146,000 from 40 years of 20% interest without ever adding any more money to that $100. So you're just reinvesting the money that you get from the interest or dividends every single year. Excuse me. Sorry about that. So $100, you never touch it, and it turns into that much money. So just imagine if you were to keep adding money, how much money you could be increasing from the yearly interest. And 20% is actually kind of a high interest rate. I think the average is around 8% per year. And that's still insane if just imagine if you're adding more and more money. So anyway, how to get started in this? You guys can play around as much as you want, and I highly recommend you to as well on a compound interest calculator. As you can see on the bottom, I just have that listed there so you know how to search it. Just Google that, and you'll find a calculator, probably the first link, and you can play around with how many years, how much money you put in every single year. Say if you only put in $100 a month, trust me, it adds up a lot over the course of many years. And that's the point. This is a long-term plan. It's a long-term growth to build money from money. And that's how the rich get richer. So how do I start? How does an average Joe like me get started doing these kind of numbers over the course of years? Obviously, you can make a kind of gain like that in way less than 40 years at a lower interest rate if you're continuing to add money to your investment portfolio as well. You can do it a lot quicker than that. Because if you're 20 years old right now, you don't want to wait until you're 60 to see that kind of gain. I don't want to wait that long either. So, but you just have to keep adding money to it and setting that aside from what you make from your paychecks. So anyway, how do I start? Easy. It's actually really insanely easy nowadays. Thank you to the internet. So there is a brokerage called Robinhood. It is a stock that is available on iOS and Android, and it's a free stock trading app. That means no commissions on trades. Back in the old days, you had to pay a guy to go to the stock market in Wall Street and actually physically purchase the stocks for you. Insane to me, honestly. And you had to do this. And as well as they wouldn't necessarily get the exact price that you wanted either, because the market's always fluctuating. So you may say, "Oh yeah, I want it for $5 a share." If it's like a really cheap, $5 a share is really cheap for a stock. But okay, so let's bump it up to like maybe $100 a share. Okay, that stock may fluctuate significantly within the span of maybe like 10 minutes or something. It might shift a couple bucks, and you might, but nowadays with the internet, everything is pretty much instantaneous with Robinhood. You just put in the order, goes through, no commissions, and you don't have to pay a $10 fee, and it's all really easy. So if you want, you just download that app. I actually have a link below, which I'll talk about at the end of the video, for how you guys can actually get yourself a free stock as well to get yourself started. So the things you're going to actually need for this is, of course, money. You're right. You need money to make money in the investing game, and you need to keep adding money too, because it's almost like a better version of a savings account. Savings accounts nowadays through, like, say for example, Chase. That's the bank that I use. I got 1 penny for holding a few $1,000s for like a month or a couple months, like a penny. You realize how awful that is of a return for that amount of money. It's not a ton of money, but like to have that in a savings account as like an emergency fund and to only get that much off of the interest is horrible. So you can kind of look at an investment portfolio as a much better savings account. So you're going to always want to add money to it because you're putting it away. It's extra money that you don't need for your living expenses to be able to, increase your total net worth and yada yada. So to get started, $1,000, it's a good range to get started, honestly, because you'll be able to get yourself a good deal of different shares and start to diversify a little bit. You don't want to over diversify in like cheap stocks. I definitely don't recommend that. I'm actually going to be doing a whole bunch of different videos on different types of stocks that you could get started with. So just be sure to subscribe so you can stay tuned for those future videos. I just haven't made them yet. But $1,000 is a pretty good basis to get started with. You can get your feet wet a little bit. $100 you can't really buy. I mean, you could buy maybe like one share of a company, but 1,000 will at least get you a few shares of a couple different like bigger companies that you would want to get invested into. So I would recommend 1,000, but you could start with less or more if you wanted to. That's just a good basis. So the next thing you're going to need, of course, patience, time, and a positive cash flow. Like I've been saying through this entire video, you want to keep adding money to your investment portfolio. That is how you get this exponential growth that this guy is standing there holding these coins. Because over time, the interest adds up. It keeps adding on to another, keeps building. The snowball keeps rolling. You make more money, until it's pretty exponential. How much you could be making per year off of just your interest. I mean, honestly, the goal for me is to be able to have enough to where I could live completely off of the interest dividend payments, which I'll get into in a future video more about dividend payments and stuff like that. But to be able to live off of your money is the ultimate goal, long-term goal. And I want that for each and every one of you guys who's watching this video, is to have the patience and the time to keep adding money with the positive cash flow so that you can keep, reinvesting the money that you put in and build it up over time. But that's what's going to take. You're not going to be a stock market millionaire in the matter of only like a year. It's just not going to happen. Like, you might be able to find that one crazy stock that spikes, but honestly, that is such a once in a blue moon, and you could lose all your money if you try and do those kind of things. Stay way away from penny stocks is my advice. Just because they're so inherently risky. You can do whatever you want, but that's just my advice. So, summarizing this, sorry. I have a bit of a cough right now. So, summarizing. Robinhood is a free stock trading app. You're going to want this because everything else, you have to pay money to trade stocks. And then you're going to lose, especially when you're getting started, with only maybe $1,000, you would lose so much on your trades just from the fees, the commission fees. It's not a big deal for someone who has hundreds of thousands of dollars and wants to put it into a big investment account. But, when you're getting started, Robinhood, perfect. You get free stock trading. It's awesome. You're going to need some money. That's another thing you're going to need, because to be able to make money, you got to have some money to put in the account. So you're going to want to save up some money first before you really start getting into this. But you don't need a lot. You could start with $100 if you wanted to. You don't have to start with a whole lot of money. You could just buy one share, and then next month buy another share, and you're starting to build up your portfolio that way. And you can do that with Robinhood. Like, there is no limit. You can do whatever the heck you want on that app. So it's pretty open. And third, of course, you're going to need time. You're going to need some time. The earlier you get started on this, the better. The younger you get started, the better. Because, the compounding effect is pretty insane. If you start when you're 20, it's going to be a heck of a lot easier for you than starting when you're 40. So, that's pretty much the summarization for this video. Be sure to click the link below. It will take you to my toolkit. I have a couple of other things in there other than just stocks on the website, but I do have a link that will take you to the Robinhood app on there, and that will also get you a free stock to get yourself started. It could be under $5, but hey, it's something. You know, it gets you started with a free stock, gets you signed up and on your way to the investing in the stock market. So guys, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like. If you have any questions, leave that in the comment section below. Subscribe for more future videos. I plan on making more stock related videos, some Shopify stuff if you're into e-commerce, and website design and stuff like that. So yeah, guys, see you in the next one.